The hotter things get, the better Inferno likes it. Not only when fighting fires, but on the battlefield as well. Because of this, Inferno is often distracted from his job of search and rescue in order to engage in combat. He can do anything Earth fire trucks can do in vehicular mode. Possessing great strength, his ceramic-plated armor skin can take up to 8,000 degrees Celsius heat. Inferno's extinguisher rifle shoots flame-suppressant foam, and an energy-dampening beam to counter other beams. His forearms shoot missiles, providing additional firepower. Inferno doesn't follow orders well, and is not very mobile in robot mode. Transforming into a Mitsubishi Fuso fire truck, the toy that would become Autobot Inferno began life in Takara's Diaclone line from Japan in 1983, and would later be retooled and re-released in 1984 as a work truck with crane. Both of these toy molds would go on to be imported by Hasbro and included in the second-year line of Transformers as Autobots Inferno and Grapple in 1985. Appearing halfway through the second season of the original series, Inferno, along with many other new Autobots, arrive with no explanation of how they came to join the others on Earth. With a can-do attitude and fearless bravado, Inferno's voice was provided by veteran actor Walker Edmiston.
Way to go, Mr. Wizard! I thought you said you could keep this toy rocket running!
Guys, you alright?
Just great. If you don't mind 2 tons of Inferno sitting on your head plates.
Look, you get 10 tons of boulders off my shoulder struts, and I'll get off your noggin.
Inferno would go on to be featured throughout the rest of the second season in episodes such as Auto Berserk, where he was teamed up with his friend and polar opposite, Red Alert, as well as the episode Search for Alpha Trion, where he returns to Cybertron and is reunited with his old love, Firestar. Whenever humans would face overwhelming crisis, Inferno and his partner Red Alert would always arrive to save the day, a mantle of responsibility that later passed on to the Protectobot Combiner team. Inferno had a single line of dialogue recorded for Transformers the movie in 1986. It was however lost in the final edit of the film as the scene was deleted. His toy was discontinued in 1986. Although his death was never confirmed, he never appeared after the second season. And we're back for another one, or more likely, 2. We're gonna watch 2 episodes back to back this time. Child's Play and The Gambler, and the reason for that is a little funky because for some reason when they made these episodes, even though they seem to be a continuous story that leads one into the other, they're several episodes apart, not just in the order they were played on TV, but in the order they were produced for some reason. Even though there's these other ones that happen back on Earth with characters that should be out in distant space. So we'll watch them together, and then we'll move on with the rest of the order the way it should be. So, without any further ado, this is Season 2, Episodes 44 and 47, Child's Play and The Gambler. Here we go.
As general manager of this stadium, I respectfully request that you allow us to play ball!
Our story begins on Decepticon Day at the ballpark. Let the puns begin.
How about batting practice? See if you can hit some of my fastballs!
Skyward, think fast.
Still in the mood for baseball?
Luckily, the home team's locker room has an entrance to the field large enough for a Peterbilt truck with trailer to fit through. Also, more puns.
Okay, Decepticons, it's our turn at bat. How about a game of catch, Autobots? Strike 1, Decepticons! Time for a pinch hitter! Now that's what I call a grand slam!
Yeah, it kinda goes on like this. Long story short, in the fighting, a carefully selected group of Autobots and Decepticons conveniently find themselves inside the Space Bridge Ring.
You're out!
But not Megatron, according to one pun too many. A pun out of proportion, if you will. Oh, and it looks like Perceptor is going for a ride as well. story kicks into high gear, heroes, villains, and Megatron's lost plunder of Energon alike are thrown across the void of the universe to points unknown.
Another Decepticon trick.
You mean an Autobot trick? So where are we?
Evidently, the space bridge transported us to this alien planet. Be very cautious, Autobots.
Get this thing off me!
Alert! Alert! Assistance required.
Things only get worse from there, with predatory feline, fish, and fauna capturing and attacking all the Decepticons.
It looks like the Decepticons have their hands full.
Good. Let's load the Energon cubes into my trailer and get out of here.
With that, our heroes rise to the occasion and abandon the Decepticons to their death, apparently. The Autobots arrive at a large, empty structure.
Look, Optimus, a building.
It's completely deserted.
And it appears to be extremely shoddy construction.
You're not gonna believe this.
Speaking of structure, the sight of a giant alien hand tells us it's time for a commercial break. In the second year of Marvel Comics, all of the new Autobots from the second line were added to the story, with Omega Supreme being built and designed by Grapple on Earth. Blaster, Perceptor, and the new mini-bots come to Earth via the space bridge. And 5 new Autobot cars were given bodies after having their memories stored on crystals before leaving Cybertron. Strangely, of these many new additions, Inferno and Red Alert, for whatever reason, didn't join the cast of their fellow Autobots at this time. This allowed writers of exclusive UK Marvel stories to use them any way they chose, including Inferno joining the legendary commando team known as the Wreckers, who would later go on to be renamed the Survivors. 1990 would see the release of Inferno as a non-transforming Action Master figure, leading to a belated appearance in American comics, where he is seen in a post-apocalyptic future where the Decepticons now rule planet Earth. Later that year, Inferno's original toy was re-released exclusively in the UK and Australia in the Transformers Classics line. Then, in 1993, his toy would return for Generation 2, now upgraded with a spraying water feature. He would go on to continue appearing in UK Marvel Comics, where he would join Action Force, the UK version of G.I. Joe. With Beast Wars came the use of Inferno's trademark name in the form of an evil Predacon Fire Ant. Then, in 2002 in Transformers Armada, as a Mini-Con missile truck who paired with Decepticon Thrust. Or 2004's Transformers Energon, where he would take on a similar transformation and look as G1 Inferno. This Inferno would go on to be reborn as Roadblock, a character who would very much resemble G1 Grapple. Although never appearing in the live-action films, Inferno did receive a tie-in action figure. And in 2016, G1 Inferno was released in the pricey but very impressive Masterpiece series, as well as the Power of the Primes line and War for Cybertron Kingdom. One thing's for sure, where there's smoke, there's Inferno. We now return to the Decepticons being collected and placed inside a jar, as if they were just caught straight off the shelves of your local Kmart. Nobody misses that place. Nobody. From a safe distance, the Autobots are able to deduce the situation at hand.
It's a giant boy!
Well, actually, it's all a matter of perspective. We're miniature robots to him.
And breakfast to his pet.
Don't make a sound.
The child's pet is drawn to the Autobots in hiding.
Hang on to your stabilizers!
Nitro, get away from that building set!
Thrust uses this distraction as an attempt to escape and attack.
Here, you're mine! Now you can fly all you want.
You think a little piece of string will stop me?
The remaining Decepticons are rounded up as they try to escape. Save for Starscream, whose sneak attack brings more chaos.
Starscream! Why, you...
Everybody out and get these Energon cubes out of here before they all explode.
Oh no!
As toxic smoke fills into the boy's room, our heroes are given a chance to earn his trust.
was very, very bad. You saved my building set. Thank you.
All in the line of duty. Hey, wait! Be careful! We are extremely fragile creatures.
My name is Aaron.
I'm Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots. This is Perceptor, Bumblebee, and Inferno.
And the others are Decepticons. Be careful of them. Aaron!
Aaron, you're not playing with fire, are you?
The happy meeting is broken up by Aaron's justifiably concerned parents.
Aren't you a little old to make up imaginary things like this?
I didn't make them up. Look! Ah! Get that disgusting creature out of my face! This one was a robot, but he turned into a plane. You see? Now he's a robot again. Wasn't that great, Dad?
Can we go to Toys R Us and buy more of them? Please?
We better put them away before... What, another one? Don't let them get away!
There they go!
Come back here!
There, got him.
You forgot one. Oh, wow. Look what I found.
Hand it over, son. Ow! It bit me!
As the Decepticons are rounded up yet again, Nitro gives away the Autobots' hiding spot.
Aaron, where did you get these? They're the Autobots, and they're my friends. That fire engine saved my building set from burning. You should have seen it, Mom. It was great.
Unfortunately, Aaron's loving mother is a little bit of a buzzkill.
I don't know what's going on here, but I'm calling the authorities. The authorities won't hurt my friends, will they, Mom? That's enough, Aaron. I'm sure they'll take good care of them.
Get away from me, you green-faced fool!
Feisty little creatures, aren't they?
What are they? Where did they come from?
Well, we don't know. I think we'll have to dissect them to find out.
What a disturbing jump in logic.
Get those creatures in the cage out here, too, and we'll get to work.
I must say this rather fun episode just took a decidedly dark turn. Now, if I can lighten the mood up for just a moment, we talked earlier about Autobot Inferno, but I would like to mention Walker Edmiston, the multi-talented performer that was behind Inferno's voice. I've made a brand new voice actor video about him and I'd love for you to check it out. If you're a fan of the old Sid and Marty Krofft shows, particularly Land of the Lost, you're definitely going to want to see this one. There's also a couple of neat surprises from cinema in there as well. So, without any further ado, let's get back to some Decepticon circumcisions. We now return to Aaron rebelling against the system.
Leave him alone! Give him to me! Aaron, wait!
This works.
He's around here somewhere. Come on.
Back at the lab, the Decepticons manage to break free, as the plot demands it.
We're just a block from my house. When we get there, I'll hide you where no one will ever find you.
Aaron, I'm afraid we can't stay. We belong on Earth.
Earth? Where's Earth?
It's the third planet from the sun.
The sun?
It's one of the stars you see in the sky at night.
Exactly.
Like the ones I look at through my dad's big telescope?
That's right, Aaron.
Optimus, if that telescope is powerful enough, we may have just found our ticket home.
Then let's hurry before somebody finds us.
Too late.
Before they can make it, they are spotted by Decepticons and authorities alike.
Hide, Autobots! Meet me at my house!
Aaron releases the Autobots into the sewer, so they can escape and regroup later. The Decepticons pursue, leading to a large melee. And more puns. Thank God.
The pen is mightier than the staff, Soundwave!
An attacking sewer rodent, drainage whirlpools, and an impending tidal wave up the ante, causing the Decepticons to retreat, and for the Autobots to go with the flow.
Climb in. Let's ride this wave to shore. Now, let's get to Aaron's house.
Autobots and Decepticons converge on Aaron's home later that night.
This is it. Now all we need is a way to get inside, and I think we just found it. Here, kitty kitty.
With the aid of Nitro, our heroes regroup with the boy.
Autobots, you made it!
Utilizing the Energon cubes, I can modify my light cannon into a transport beam, amplifying the rays through this telescope.
Don't tell us about it, just do it.
Perceptor gets right to work on the sci-fi bullshit he just made up.
Once activated, the beam will only remain for a short time.
It worked.
Now, climb onto the light beam, and we'll be home in seconds.
Thank you, Perceptor, but we're taking this ride back to Earth. Stand back, Autobots, or I'll blast him into silicon dust!
And with that, the Decepticons steal their ride home.
Thanks, Nitro. But now we're really stuck.
But this episode still has more absurd bullshit up its sleeve, don't you worry.
This isn't the type of welcome I had in mind.
Who cares, as long as there aren't any green monsters around? Get this thing off me!
Ah, classic Starscream.
Got an idea.
Now wait, get this.
Yeah, here it is. It's really neat. It flies all around my room, up to the ceiling and everything.
A rocket ship.
A toy rocket ship.
Well, anything's worth a try with some modifications to the propulsion core.
Perceptor, just do it.
You were the best. I'll miss you.
Every time you look through your telescope at the stars, you'll know that your friends are out there. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off.
Goodbye, Autobots!
Farewell, Aaron, and thanks.
This episode ends, but their journey home is only just beginning. Whether Smokescreen is engaged in a raging battle or friendly conversation, an ulterior purpose usually exists. His job is to lead the enemy astray. Sneaky, but charming and affable, Smokescreen is considered the most devious, yet ironically, the most trusted of all Autobots. In car mode, he emits a unique thick black smoke from his tailpipe that attracts to metal and can temporarily blind his enemies. In robot mode, Smokescreen shoots missiles, which can wreak havoc on enemy aircraft radar and guidance systems. In addition, his electro-disruptor rifle shorts out electrical targets. Transforming into a Datsun 280ZX turbo sports car, the original toy that would become Autobot Smokescreen was one of 3 differently decorated transforming cars from Takara's Diaclone line in Japan. First released in 1984, 2 of these molds would be imported in the first year of Transformers as Autobots Prowl and Bluestreak. Then the third in 1985 as Autobots Smokescreen. Some collectors would go on to refer to these 3 as the Datsun brothers. Smokescreen's colors and detailing were modeled after a real-life car by Electromotive Engineering Datsun. This real-life race car was driven by none other than Don Devendorf. Like many of his fellow new Autobot cars from the 1985 toy line, Smokescreen appeared halfway through the second season of Generation 1 cartoons, with no backstory of where he came from. Of all the new characters, he may have had the least amount of screen time, save for poor Skids, of course, who was only seen a handful of times. However, unlike Skids, Smokescreen's cool look and rarity in appearances would give him a certain growing mystique over the passing years.
Monicus, what's that?
Just the biggest gambling asteroid in the galaxy. Why, with your talents, I could clean up.
We could clean up.
With his smooth, cool, calculated voice provided by Jack Angel, Smokescreen's greatest standout appearance in animation was his featured episode, The Gambler, where he is teamed up with morally dubious alien, Bosch. An adventure that would also later see him team up with Autobot bounty hunter, Devcon, as he tracks Ramjet, Dirge, and Astrotrain to planet Monicus. With Smokescreen's toy discontinued in 1986, he was one of many older characters on the chopping block of Transformers the Movie fatalities. An early storyboard from Transformers the Movie would show that Smokescreen's dead wreckage was meant to be seen early in the film. However, this was famously replaced by Wheeljack's dead body in the final shot. With no actual death confirmed, Smokescreen was never again seen in the original series. Our story continues here.
Well, that's odd. We've totally lost our mobile drive.
Way to go, Mr. Wizard. I thought you said you could keep this toy rocket running.
Stranded in space, the Autobots' makeshift vessel is locked onto by another ship's tractor beams. The Autobots are taken prisoner with zero dialogue spoken and give no resistance, so the plot can happen.
Welcome, fellow space travelers. I am Bosch, the captain of this freighter.
Release us immediately.
Sorry, no dice. I apologize for the melodramatics, but drastic times dictate drastic measures. Ta-da! Instant slaves.
Autobot Smokescreen lucks out due to a faulty chamber, so the plot can happen.
Well, I still...
Violence is unnecessary. The paralyzing effect will wear off shortly.
What do you intend to do with us?
Why, sell you, of course. How else will I get the Energon I need to power this ship? Not to mention these chambers which remove and restore the free will of your companions.
At this time, the alien Bosch turns to his gambling addiction for some reason.
I can't even beat my own machine anymore, and I had it fixed so I could cheat.
I'll show you how it's done.
Very well, Autobot, but if you lose your very existence.
Wait, what? With a literal trick up his sleeve, Smokescreen beats the machine.
Incredible! You're a gambling whiz!
It's all in the wrist.
If we could only get to Monachus, we could win stacks of Energon chips. And we could use your robot friends as collateral to get some Energon chips to gamble with and win enough Energon to fuel my freighter.
And return my friends to normal.
Agreed. Yes, you need my help, and it seems I need yours.
So with that, he shrinks the Autobots for convenience, I guess. Whatever, keep watching.
Hold on to your lucky charm. Destination, Monachus.
Arriving on the planet Monachus, the pair head for the gambling hive of Sheol.
Lord Gaikane is our last chance, and he won't be very generous. This is it. Lord Gaikane's pit of destruction.
They arrive to Fight Night in the arena, as Smokescreen needs to be served up more vital exposition.
What are those creatures?
They're called Animalians. Anyone dumb enough to pay 10 Energon chips and stay in the pit with them for 60 seconds wins.
Wins what?
His life and 100 Energon chips. Few have walked away with either. We're here to see Lord Gaikane on some official business.
Introducing Lord Gaikane, who is in no way a ripoff of Jabba the Hutt.
And what do you offer as collateral, Bosch?
We offer 4 magnificent Autobots, Lord Gaikane.
Well. 4 Autobots, you say? My. I'll give you 50 Energon chips at 500% interest.
Never too steep.
That's my best offer. Take it or leave it.
We'll take it.
Fine. By the way, that's payable within the hour.
An hour?
1 minute longer, and the Autobots belong to me.
Later, in the casino, Smokescreen is on a heater with enough Energon chips to easily get his friends back. Naturally, he decides to dick around and risk it all, so the plot can happen.
I'm betting it all.
Wow, what a dumbass. Smokescreen was one of 5 new Autobot cars that joined the Marvel comic in its 2nd year. He, along with Grapple, Hoist, Skids, and Trax, agreed to have his personality and memories stored on crystals before leaving Cybertron. Later, they would all be given new bodies and Earth transformations. His first appearance would see him join Bumblebee in a battle against the Decepticons at a local rock concert. Smokescreen appeared more in exclusive UK storylines than he did in American comics, including teaming up with Inferno in order to warn of the return of McCrumb, the Dark God. 1994 would see the return of Smokescreen's trademark name when Generation 2 lent it to a brand new Decepticon character. In no way connected to the original, this Smokescreen would go on to appear in Generation 2 comics. This Smokescreen would go on to take on a whole life of his own in later Japanese lore, including manga comics revealing that this was in fact the original Smokescreen after all, having been turned to evil and now wrestling with multiple personalities. A new Smokescreen would appear in 2002 Transformers Armada, who would later be renamed under the copywritten name Hoist. 2006's Transformers Cybertron introduced Monster Hunter Autobot Crosswise. Early in production, the character was called Smokescreen. Even in recordings for animation, his name would later be removed and redubbed to Crosswise. Later, Crosswise would see a release in classic Smokescreen colors. Though never appearing in the movies, a live-action toy of Smokescreen made it to shelves and tie-in comics for Revenge of the Fallen. And of course, a new version of Smokescreen would join the ranks of Transformers Prime in 2012, a reckless young bot and a bit too eager for action. This arrogant hotshot would need to mature in order to become a more effective member of his team. This Smokescreen was granted a phase shifter that would allow him to pass through solid objects. When this version of Optimus Prime thought he was facing certain doom, he passed the matrix of leadership onto Smokescreen. This temporary experience forever changed the young bot for the better, shedding the impatience of youth and molding him into a more focused and reliable member of the unit. This continues to be the most significant character to ever hold the name Smokescreen in Transformers lore to date. However, with enduring fan appeal, new figures of G1 Smokescreen continue to be released.
Sorry, boys. Too bad things didn't work out for you. The Autobots are mine now.
The Autobots are taken into custody and made to fight in the arena. Elsewhere, several Decepticons arrive in order to kick things up another notch.
Couldn't you have landed a little closer to town, Astro Train?
We're lucky we made it this far. I burned every ounce of fuel just to get here. Hurry back with the Energon.
Ramjet, I have the creepy feeling we're being monitored.
As the Decepticon Coneheads head off on their own, we learn they are being tracked.
Starlog 26 have followed the Decepticons to Monicus. We'll continue surveillance and monitor all activities.
We've got to figure a way to get the Autobots back before it's too late.
They should probably check out the action at Geikenese tonight.
Hey, Autobot!
Who speaks to me?
It was I, Smokescreen, an Autobot myself.
Great Cybertron, an Autobot.
Please, join us.
Thank you. My name is Devcon. I left my home planet of Cybertron millions of years ago during the Great War when...
Hey, you're the little runt with a laser pistol that works for Lord Geikenese.
What is this creature mumbling about?
He's pledging his eternal gratitude and loyalty for saving his life.
I am a bounty hunter searching for Decepticons who must be brought to justice. I have followed 3 of them here to Sheol. Astro Train, Dirge, and Ramjet. Have you seen them?
No, but if they're anywhere on this crust of a planet, I'll bet I know where.
We've been hearing stories about you, Lord Geikenese. Stories that make Megatron very unhappy.
Stories? What kind of stories?
That you have been skimming Energon off the top.
Lies!
Turning the screws on Lord Geikenese, the Decepticons learn of the arena fight.
Autobots, here in Sheol.
The Autobots are made to do battle. Now powered temporarily, by unstable Energon, allowing the fight to be rigged against them.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, for the first time anywhere in the galaxies, you will witness the pugilistic spectacle of the millennium! The Animalians versus the Autobots! Then let the games begin!
Hey, you're still with me! Good for you. Now, I promised you if you stayed with me, there'd be a little treat. So, let's talk a little bit about Autobot rarity, Devcon. Autobot bounty hunter Devcon left his home planet Cybertron millions of years ago during the Great War. He's a nice guy, dedicated to his job, but lonely. In 1985, Devcon tracked Astrotrain, Dirge, and Ramjet to the gambling asteroid Monicus. When the Decepticons unknowingly evaded him, he headed to a bar and ended up laying a smackdown on a pair of thugs who were picking on Slizardo, the henchman of a local mob boss. In doing so, he caught the attention of fellow Autobot Smokescreen and alien gambler Bosch, who were down on their luck. Devcon was pleased by the presence of another Autobot and sat down to drink with the pair. Devcon's life story was interrupted by Slizardo, trying to pledge his eternal loyalty to him. After helping Smokescreen and the other Autobots on Monicus, and declining an offer to join the Autobots on Earth, Devcon flew off into space, with Slizardo in tow as his new sidekick. Devcon only appeared in a single episode of the Generation 1 cartoon, Season 2's The Gambler. However, Slizardo would return in the Season 3 episode, Grimlock's New Brain, where he was seen partnered up with the alien mercenary, Skutzoid. Both of these characters have since gone on to appear in the Energon Universe comic series, Void Rivals, not to mention Lord Gaikini and Bosch. Devcon has yet to make an appearance, but it is not all that unlikely, considering the number of deep cuts that have already been included. With only a single appearance in the cartoon, no toys were made of Devcon in the original line. However, that changed when the Expanded Universe released the first ever Devcon toy, retooled from Beast Machine's Mirage. Retooling Slugslinger from Transformers Energon, a new Devcon toy was designed and proposed a few years later. However, this one never made it to production. Devcon would go on to appear in comics as a member of the Wreckers Commando team, and would make sporadic cameos in IDW Comics. In 2009, Transformers Animated paid homage to him with a holographic Easter egg cameo. 2014 BotCon would release a new exclusive Devcon, retooled from a previous Scourge figure from the Transformers Universe line, thanks to them having similar transformations and head-mounted lasers. Exclusive comics would portray him as a knight who would serve as a protector of Cybertron. His duties would bring him into direct conflict with Decepticon Flame War. And at long last, 2023 would see his first mass release in the Transformers Evolution line. This figure has been his most accurate representation of his G1 animation model to date. We now return to a rigged fight.
I'm gonna stop this right. Sit down. If you interfere now, the crowd will tear us to pieces.
After being forced to sit still, Smokescreen can stand it no longer. Breaking up the fight, he clears the crowd.
This is one event Gaikini didn't have scheduled.
As chaos ensues, the Decepticons move in to follow him.
Decepticons!
Nice work, Dirge. Now let's finish them together.
Before they can finish him off, Devcon joins the fight at last.
Ramjet, we're hit. Transform! Who was that guy? Devcon, the bounty hunter. Let's get out of here before he comes back to finish us off.
As our heroes move in, they team up with Slizardo, who delivers a ticking clock for our episode's finale.
What's he babbling about?
He says the Decepticons and Lord Gaikani are leaving Sheol with the Autobots.
Give us the Autobots, Ramjet.
How about some laser beams instead?
Blunt, but I like it. Robots and aliens fight now. As the shooting continues, the race is on to save Optimus and the others.
Re-energizing and... Now, prepare to meet my friend, Mr. Ionic Displacer!
And more shooting. Smokescreen does that thing. Again, and so forth.
Hey, what?
Coughing robots. Never gets old. As the episode is almost over, the Decepticons give up and leave with zero difficulty.
I can't let them escape. The Decepticons must be stopped at all costs. Flizzardo, I invite you to join me as my partner.
So, what are you waiting for?
And now, Smokescreen suffers zero consequences for many questionable choices.
I don't remember anything.
The last thing I remember is that guy was frying us.
A lot's happened to you, but believe me, Bosch is our friend. And he's agreed to take us back to Earth.
So I have. But we used almost all the Energon chips here to restore the ship and your friends. And seeing how Casino Row is right over there...
Hey, what do you say to a little R&R, guys?
Why not? Autobots, transform!
Let's go, partner!
From there, the Autobots all went on a 5-day bender. Bumblebee caught the Robo-Clap. The end.
Well, two very, very fun episodes back to back. That makes for kind of a long video for all of you to watch, and I regret to inform you that the video's about to get a little bit longer than that even, because I went back and did the errors for both of these episodes together. Well...
Okay, so right off the bat, did both teams and the entire crowd assemble waiting for the game to start, even though there was a giant space bridge ring and a bunch of evil Decepticons standing in the middle of the stadium? If so, what did they think was gonna happen? This would break his wrist. This guy's hand was saved by Looney Tunes logic. Soundwave throws a player at Skywarp, but he is caught by Starscream. Why does his arm cover his face like that? Shouldn't it be behind his head? How does the space bridge work after the controls were destroyed and no destination was programmed? They were working to turn it off. Did the Decepticons already activate it? If so, why didn't it just send the cubes to Cybertron by now? How and why do these balls come to life? Also, balls.
Get this thing off me!
Starscream plays this scene in controversial blackface. What an asshole. Nitro the Space Cat chases after Soundwave. Later, when the Autobots are about to escape, we see he is chasing Perceptor, who leaves with the group. Go figure. Also, how many miles to a gallon does a microscope get if it's fast enough to keep up with 2 trucks, a Volkswagen, and a race car? Just asking. Autobots walking in place. Starscream is dropped and magically turns into Skywarp for one shot. Remember all those times we've seen the Decepticons fly, whether they were jets or robots? Keep that in mind as they are all kept prisoner in an open container with no lid. Later, they all try to escape slowly, one by one, and only when Aaron is looking. Ravage lands on top of Starscream, then magically hangs upside down, suspended in midair, for reasons. Prime introduces all of the Autobots to Aaron, but never mentions Smokescreen's name, even though he's standing right there. Also, Smokescreen has very little to do or say in this episode. It's almost like it was a late decision to make him the focus of the next episode, and then he was just added to this one.
Ow! It bit me!
He did nothing resembling biting him. This planet has an Earth equivalent of everything. They even understand the concept of fire trucks. How do they not know what a gun is? Oh wait, they do have them. And they're pointing them at an innocent child. Nitro is a fucking narc, dude. Despite being able to understand everything they are saying, these authorities make zero attempt to communicate with the Autobots or Decepticons, even though they can tell them anything they wanted to know. Take a moment to just forget that these people are murderous psychopaths, and look closely at this saw blade and ask yourself, how is it spinning and not spinning at the same time?
What you got behind your back?
Nothing, Marty.
Come on, Goosehead. I saw you hiding it from me. One last chance, Airhead. Give it to me or I'll break your nose. Looks like your birdie flew the coop. I can't blame him, being around a nerd like you.
Funny story. 20 years later, Aaron ran into Marty at a local grocery store, and Aaron couldn't help but notice how eager Marty was to talk to him and kiss his ass. Aaron would look over and see Marty's awkward teenage child, who was clearly being picked on at school. They would both stand there in a long, awkward silence as they realized life was short and fast, and that fate was cruel and ironic. Anyway, why is Ravage running in midair? Also, why is Starscream's arm cannon coming out of his face and slicing through his nose? Did AI make this shot? What is happening? Starscream magically appears between frames. Prime's nose is magically cut off. Starscream kicks Prime with his magic AI leg. Aaron and his people speak English for storytelling expediency in a children's show. However, the trash in the sewer has alien language on the labels. Unlike a certain gambling asteroid in the next episode, the whirlpool magically freezes in place. Autobots running in place again, except for Perceptor, for some reason. Aaron's head, you guys. They plan to fly back to Earth in a toy rocket. I don't even know where to begin, I'm just gonna move on. And now for one of the greatest errors in all of Transformers history. How many errors can you spot in this single shot alone? I see the Autobots teleporting into existence. I see Inferno's head is wrong. The Autobots magically phasing through the rocket like it's a hologram. And, well, a whole lot of animation cells that just don't line up. Is this shot a prank?
Way to go, Mr. Wizard. I thought you said you could keep this toy rocket running.
Seeing as how he made that toy rocket escape the gravity field of that massive planet, I think you can cut him a little bit of slack. The ease at which these Autobots are simply walked into these tubes with no resistance is pretty frustrating to watch. In the last episode, Prime had zero issue shooting a sewer rat that was simply doing what nature programmed it to do.
Your weapons are deactivated. Your inherent powers are nullified. And your free will is suspended. Ta-da! Instant slaves.
Then why bother talking to them or explaining any of this other than to inform the audience? Oh, right, got it. This episode uses Energon as currency as well as fuel, and the story heavily implies Bosch is down on his luck. The only believable aspect to him keeping prisoners is his armed crew of guards. So, how is he paying them, and how long before they turn on them? And dare I ask, who the hell are they and where do they come from? Because this guy already told us that he's open to the idea of slavery.
I'll show you how it's done. Very well, Autobot. But if you lose your very existence.
So he's threatening to kill him if he doesn't beat the rigged gambling machine that's rigged to cheat in his favor. So he rigs it further to cheat in his favor. You know, sometimes I record these and I get to the end and I realize I referred to an asteroid as a planet, even though they clearly describe it as an asteroid in the episode. But look, are they pulling up to an asteroid or a planet? Seriously.
No way, Bosch. I got robots up to my eyeballs this week. But go see Asimov over in the Tet Quadrant.
Well,
that's a sci-fi reference.
This is it. Lord Gaikan's pit of destruction.
Right next door to the Hard Rock Cafe. If they were enlarged while standing next to each other, they'd crash into each other as they grew. Failing to rip off the Rancor's pit from Jabba's palace, the animation for this trapdoor is simply embarrassing. Here, let me invite you to come fuck up my elaborate plans.
Couldn't you have landed a little closer to town, Astro Train?
Says the guy who can turn into a jet and fly there himself. Why does he need to turn on his personal recorder by hand, or even speak his words out loud? It's built into him. Also, does the antenna transmit his own words back to him? What's going on here? Dick move. However, Slizardo is now escaping into the wall in one of my worst perspective nightmares. So, where is Monicus in relation to Earth and Cybertron, and how is Megatron running an extortion racket on this guy from Earth? Where does he find the time between the episodes we see? Did this arrangement just begin? If so, how? Before 2 years ago, Megatron was catatonic for 4 million years. And what does Lord Gaikini get out of that? If Lord Gaikini is in debt to Megatron and knows what an Autobot is, why doesn't he immediately contact Megatron to gain favor? Or at least, not risk pissing him off? In the last episode, we saw Megatron send a massive plunder of Energon back to Cybertron to be stockpiled by Shockwave. So, why does he need to harass this alien for more Energon? When the trip here causes Astrotrain to use up all of his own Energon? And once again, why do they go on these long trips with Astrotrain, but never store more Energon inside him for later when they get here? It makes my brain hurt. Gaikini offers a bet to the crowd with no takers, but after the fight begins, he lets the crowd make bets. This is not how gambling works. Certainly not gambling run by crime lords. The gate to the slave fighting arena is wide open, you say. Bosch and Lord Gaikini are exceptionally large compared to humans. They stand almost as tall as the Autobots. However, Bosch is always conveniently small enough to fit inside Smokescreen when he's in car mode. This isn't how bombs work. Watch how the background doesn't change between these shots. Slizardo knows exactly where to find them, so the episode can end. The glow is missing from the Energon, walking in place with Optimus. You guys, perspective really matters in animation. Did he just transform with the rest of the Autobots and the Energon inside of him? Was everyone crushed? Should he not be ripped apart from the inside right now?
Prepare to meet my friend, Mr. Ionic Displacer!
While he was talking about his gun, it would have been really awesome if somebody just shot him in the face.
I can't let them escape.
But you just did. They boarded the ship and flew away and you watched... Oh, fuck it, I give up.
Well, I've said it before and I will say it again. I do hope they'll do better next time. And speaking of next time, I hope you'll come back for our next episode, Quest for Survival. And we'll be getting a brand new bio for Autobot Skids. But whatever, it'll be fine. Come on, it's a good episode you can watch. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. And I do very sincerely hope to see you in the next episode. I do like Skids. I'm not trying to dig on anyone with Skids.
Well, I got onto the Land of the Lost just because I had been working for the Crofts for such a long time. And they called me in and said, oh, we have a character, you're on camera, but you'll never be seen. And I said, could you explain that? And they said, well, you wear it's kind of a lizard costume. I do. Okay, well, work is work. You know, I'm in Hollywood, I'm in showbiz. This is rocket to stardom. I'm gonna be my big chance.